Obedience, unselfishness, and courage are three qualities that we need today. In the world, obedience and unselfishness are not important. And to some people, these qualities are distasteful. But as Jehovah's people, we want to please Him, not just ourselves. This requires courage on our part. It isn't always easy to display these qualities, but studying examples of others who have had them will help us. We could always look at Jesus' example, but then again, He was perfect. There is another person in the Bible who struggled with imperfection just like us. His name was Abraham. So let's see how he displayed these qualities and see how we can benefit from them. Jehovah commanded Abraham to leave his home in Ur and to move hundreds of miles away to live as nomads in tents. Abraham probably had a very comfortable house. He was also very respected in the community. It couldn't have been easy to leave all those comforts behind. So let's see what Abraham's response was to this command. It's at Genesis chapter 12 and verse 4. And again, that's Genesis chapter 12, verse 4. And it says, "So Abraham went just as Jehovah had told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he left Haran." Jehovah has given us commands today too, like the kingdom preaching work. He may also ask us to do things we don't understand, or even things we may disagree with at first. But Abraham's positive attitude and willingness to obey motivates us to obey Jehovah in all things. After they had moved to the land of Canaan, Abraham's servants and Lot's servants began to argue because there was not enough land for both groups and their flocks to stay together. Someone had to move. So let's turn to Genesis chapter 13 and verse 9, and we'll read how Abraham resolved the conflict. At Genesis chapter 13, verse 9, it reads, "Is not the whole land available to you? Please, separate from me. If you go to the left, then I will go to the right. But if you go to the right, then I will go to the left." Abraham was much older than Lot, but he let Lot choose the land that he wanted, and was content to take whatever Lot didn't choose, no matter which one it was. Though Lot chose the better land, Abraham did not complain. We want to remember this and always be unselfish and not greedy when dealing with others. How do we feel when someone takes the best choice and leaves the rest for us? Do we get upset and complain about how unfair it is? Abraham didn't, and neither should we. After Lot moved to Sodom, he and his family were kidnapped by 5 Canaanite kings. What would Abraham do about this? Let's find out at Genesis chapter 14, verses 14 and 15. And it reads, "Thus Abraham heard that his relative had been taken captive. With that, he mobilized his trained men, 318 servants born in his household, and went in pursuit up to Dan. During the night, he divided his forces, and he and his servants attacked and defeated them. And he pursued them up to Hobah, which is north of Damascus." This obviously required a lot of courage, but he didn't do it alone. He was facing a force much larger than his. But because of Jehovah's backing, he defeated the 5 kings and rescued his nephew. We are also facing a force much more powerful than us. Satan and his demons are trying to kidnap us and take us away from Jehovah. But we can take courage and know that we can beat them because we have Jehovah on our side. Also, because we are different from the world, we are made fun of and looked at as being weird. Abraham's neighbors probably thought he was crazy for making the choices that he made. But his courage and faith in Jehovah helped him to stand up straight and be proud. We can be proud too as we courageously serve Jehovah despite opposition. As we read about Abraham's obedience, unselfishness, and courage, let's do all we can to follow his example as we serve Jehovah in this wicked world.